for anyone interested in workouts, guaranteed to produce more impressive results. You gotta check out our new sponsor, Blue Star Nutraceuticals, PPK pre-workout formula. When it comes to my workouts, I prefer something that will fuel my performance above and beyond your typical energy drink. PPK is a science-backed pre-workout formula that does a lot more than just stimulate your central nervous system. Every serving of thirst-quenching PPK helps increase muscle pumps, strength, power, lean muscle, and energy. Here's what I love about it. PPK is only 30 calories per serving. It contains no beta-alanine, so you'll never be bothered by itchiness, pins and needles, or other skin irritations commonly associated with beta-alanine containing pre-workouts. Frustrated with your workout progress? One serving of PPK will squash those feelings immediately. Take PPK 30 minutes before your workout and experience an entirely new way of training every time. Get the best workout of your life with PPK. Go to bluestar.fit/Chael. That's going to get you 10% off your next order, or just click on the link below. What is Nate Diaz's next logical step? What is Nate Diaz's next step? I mean, we were wildly... Now, we're all asking that question. You guys are too. Nobody's pretending to raise their hand as though they know. But 5 weeks ago, we did. 5 months ago, we did. We all had this figured out. He's going to box Jake Paul. Not just he's going to box. He's going to specifically be in there with Jake Paul. We don't feel quite so confident now. Now there's even a rumor that there's a new league coming out. And that's interesting to me. Now, I could call Nate Diaz right this second. I put him on speaker. I could ask him the question. Whether he would shoot with me, or maybe he's still got to be a little bit evasive for his plan and his reveal. But I could at least ask him the question. I'm not doing that. Why? Well, I prefer to speculate. I have a very sweet offer from Eric Nixon, who could not have been a nicer guy to me, and just asked me, hey, Chael, before you talk about Francis, call me. You can go and talk about him, but I'll make sure that you have accurate information. Now, of course, I'm going to respect that. I told him, yes, of course I would honor that. I do my best to not tell you anything about Ngannou. But we still guess, right, guys? We guess, we're speculating, it's fun. But any new promotion makes the same mistake, which is to go out and buy the biggest star they can. And whatever star that is, they're going to pay whatever they have to pay. They have to get the biggest star. They believe if they have the best fighters, they will have the best ratings. This is a mistake that will never go away. And I don't know these folks that Nate's working with. And I wish them well and I don't insult them, but I still promise you that I'm right. If they're going to go to a fight league, they're going to look to sign the best talent they can. Not the biggest stars, not the biggest names, not the most interesting stories, not the great characters, what actually makes money. They won't do that. They'll want to sign the best that they can. They just will. It is a piece of psychology that no promoter has ever not done. Well, we think they already did. We think they got Nate. It would appear that way, and I understand why. He wanted to become free, he wanted to go and doing something else. Now, Conor McGregor started his sports agency while still under contract with the UFC. He never got it off the ground, he never held a show, which is great. It's why Conor still has his money. He would not have it anymore had he gone down that road, unless he found investors. But Khabib did. Khabib went and got himself a beautiful operation. He went and got himself a TV contract. He went and got himself a designated studio. But he never got in the ring. Dana White did all of those things too. But Dana never got in the ring. Bob Arum and Coker and Don King, Eddie Hearn for that matter, they all did those same things, but they never got in the ring. So I'm just sharing with you, why are we so convinced that Nate's going to go get in the ring? And if Nate is Nate's only star, how many shows is he going to put on him? And do you see the problem? If he plans for the big kickoff and the big Bayview to get into the ring and maybe even get his brother, maybe get a couple of buddies, Gilbert, me, and Jake Shields will show. I'll tell you right now, just on a favor. Nate could send it to, and I'm sharing with you. Maybe that is his plan. But what's his plan for the next event? And where's his plan for the next event? I haven't done the math on how often Nate fights, but I feel very confident in telling you guys that it would average out to twice a year, and possibly less than that. So if he just is to keep that same schedule, then we know he's not going to fight on all the cards. If we know he's not going to fight on all the cards, if we know that him and his ability to attract is not what is going to be sustainable and keep him afloat, why do we think he's going to do it at all? Why are we so sure? Just asking the question. But if Nate is in fact going to go and start a promotion, which we've heard absolutely nothing about, boy, it was almost poetry what Nate told us. It was almost poetry the way he said that. And like all great authors, they leave it for interpretation. And what Nate said is wide open for interpretation. We really don't have enough information. However, it's a big if you're going to do that, and I guarantee you're going to go and sign the best guy. That's rule number one. Somebody somewhere is thinking of that right now. Who's the best guy? And they're looking up records. Francis Ngannou is your guy. And Francis Ngannou and Nate Diaz have been oddly nice to each other on social media as of late. I'm just a guy speculating. I'm just throwing some ideas around. But that's an interesting one. That's an interesting concept for both ways. I mean, what would you guys rather do? Don't forget your number one job. If you're a prize fighter, if you're the earner for the family, your number one job is to take the easiest fight for the most money every single time you can. So imagine somebody came to the table, they got a couple of $1 million for Francis. Who am I going to... Exactly. Anybody worth a damn's already signed. We're going to give you $2 million. I mean, do you see where that goes? That's not sustainable. That doesn't work. That's the Kayla Harrison model all over again, where you're paid and there's no ROI. Every promoter has made that mistake, and everybody will continue to make that mistake. They will continue to believe if I have the best fighters, I then have the best promotion. Fine. And you guys will tell them they're right. Of course, I only want to see the best fighters. It's one of these things. Have an architecture and put them in a tournament. If you want to truly know who the best is, which there's only one way to do, put them in a tournament. Stand on your own skill, but that's not what we do here. Now, we generally find them, by the way. It gets very competitive, and we generally do find them. I'm just sharing for you, like, that concept doesn't hold up. And that concept involves you write some very big checks, and then once it's done, and once it's signed, and once the press release came out, boy, did you ever have a good time. People in the office are patting you on the back. Look at this. You got us on ESPN. Look at this. Chael P's over there talking about. They're talking about on the Joe Rogan program. What a great job you did. And then the next day, you realize, I got to have someone for him to fight. And there's no meaningful name out there, so let's hope that this guy can just do it on his own. Oh, and by the way, the bomb, the tomato can that I'm going to bring in for him, knows he's a lamb walking into slaughter, knows nobody else wants to do it. Now he's holding me hostage for a whole bunch of money. God damn, I did not think this thing through. Happens every time. Not a maybe, not sometimes, not, oh, we'll get the right guy, get different guy. 100% of the time. That's what happens. And what is with this new friendship with Nate and Francis, by the way? I mean, not for nothing, they're a little bit chummy. I'm onto something here, aren't I? Now, I don't know if it'll get done. I don't know if it'll get signed. But I'm onto something. I'm getting close. I'm not there. But I'm looking in the right direction.